Hey guys, this is Chef Chris, and today we are making New York style cheesecake. Beautiful, creamy, delicious, dense, thick. What else could you ask for in a beautiful cheesecake? So versatile, you can change up these crusts. I went with the shortbread. Of course, you can go with graham cracker, Oreo. Top it with whatever you like. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. The possibilities are endless, and today, I'm show you guys how to make it. Alright, let's get started. Start off by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. Nice and hot, guys. Alright, time to make the crust. We have in a bowl, we have got all-purpose flour, a good amount of sugar, 1 egg that we beat up well, and 1 stick of butter that is softened at room temperature. I cubed it up just to help incorporate a lot easier. I do recommend you do that because we're going to give it a nice stir with a whisk. Eventually, I was like, this is not going to be too easy, so it's time to get dirty, get our hands in there. We're going to make sure that every morsel of that butter is crumbly, everything's covered with flour. We're good. Time to throw it in a 10-inch spring-form pan and pat it down. Make sure it's nice and even, well dispersed around the pan, and time to give it a little pat down. Oh, I love pat downs. All right, now the thing about shortbread crust, we need to prick holes in this, okay? It's going to air up in the oven, and we don't want it to crack. So make sure you get a nice amount of holes with a fork, stick it right into that preheated oven, and set the timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, done. Take it on out and let it cool down. Beautiful. Look at the edges, nice and crisp. Awesome. Okay, now slowly we want to put in a oven-safe pan or dish with half amount of water. Okay, we're going to let that heat up. It's going to help make sure that this cheesecake is moist. We're going to drop that temperature down to 350 degrees, and it's time to get the filling started. We have got a good amount of Philadelphia cream cheese. Of course, I have all the measurements and ingredients listed down below, as usual. Started off with a spoon, ended up with a whisk or a hand mixer. Time to throw in a good amount of sugar here. We're going to get that a nice incorporation. I threw in some flour in a little bit. We could have thrown it all together. I probably should have, but I went in steps. But don't worry about overmixing this. We're getting it nice and creamy at the moment. The only time you got to worry about overmixing this cheesecake is when you throw in the eggs, okay? Like I said, we're going to throw in a good amount of all-purpose flour here. Give that a nice well blend. Make sure it's nice and creamy. Now it is time to incorporate the eggs, all right? We've got 5 eggs, all at room temperature, along with a little bit of vanilla extract. Now, this is where it becomes pretty vital that you don't overmix, okay? We're going to go nice and slow, just a little bit, a little blending here. You can use a hand whisk if you feel more comfortable with that. We're going to give it a nice whisk. We're not going to incorporate it all, okay? So right around, let's see, right around there, good. Time for the other egg, all right? This is where you don't want to create a lot of air. Eggs, when you beat them, will create air, so your cheesecake will become a little more fluffy. And that's not what we want in a New York cheesecake. We want a nice, thick, dense, creamy cheesecake. All right, second egg is in, not incorporated all the way. Time for the third egg, and so forth. So you get to 5 eggs, all right? Last but not least, 1 egg yolk. That's going to just give it a little more cream that we want. Okay, now some people put a little bit of heavy cream. I prefer sour cream. It's going to give it a nice little tart taste that sour cream has. Of course, some creme fraiche would be great as well. And I'm just quickly incorporating that, not overworking it, just stirring it in. Beautiful, gorgeous, silky. We're done. All right, going to spray that spring-form pan. It's already cooled down. Going to give it a nice little spritz with some vegetable oil. Done. Pour that batter right into that spring-form pan. Now, one last step. Give it the nice tap, tap, taparoo right on the counter. If you know where that's from. Little Happy Gilmore reference. But this is going to get all those little air bubbles that are inside. You're going to see them float right to the top and burst. Okay, time to stick it into that 350-degree oven with the water in there. And we're going to bake this for 15 minutes, okay? I've used this technique with the other cheesecake. It worked beautifully. 15 minutes later, drop that temperature down to 200 degrees, nice and slow. This is going to make sure you get beautiful cheesecakes every time. I use this all the time. I've never had a crack. And as we all know, crack kills. So 2 hours, guys. Like I said, when those 2 hours are up, we are going to turn off our oven completely and put it for 2 more hours, okay? Let it cool down in the oven. That's going to just make sure you don't take it out and it doesn't crack with the temperature change. Beautiful. We're done. Look at that. 4 hours and 15 minutes later. A little jiggly. That's what we want. It's going to hold up in the fridge. We're going to cover it with some saran wrap. Throw it right into the fridge overnight for sure. The next day, I cut into that. Oh, so amazing. I made a beautiful little strawberry sauce. Let me tell you, an amazing, beautiful New York style cheesecake. Well, that's my recipe, guys. Any recipes you guys would like to learn how to make, let me know. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.